Transmitting signal in 5, 4, 3, Hello, welcome back to the 2026 Circuit Breaker Tournament. I'm Juniper. I'll be joining for a bit. Hopefully, Laura will be back with us. And Jai, you've already been here, but you can reintroduce yourself if you'd like. It looks like we're getting into it pretty quickly. So we've seen a lot of matches today. I haven't gotten to see as many of them because I've been very busy today. I hope it's been some good matches. You've been commentating for 2 rounds now. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not sure. Is the Discord audio working? The Discord audio might not be working. Let me fix that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now the Discord audio is working. So and you can
hell
you
yeah.
can both
How's
reintroduce
things?
yourself
I'm
now.
doing great.
Please feel free to both reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, Laura, after you.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's Jai, it's Laura. This, I think, is the first time we've casted with each other, right? Unless I'm missing something.
Uh, yeah, let me. All right. Well, looks like we're about good to go. Let me get the game set up. Everything's set up to go. So yeah, let's join in on it. Y'all wanted to watch the Bullfinch game, you said?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bullfinch versus Vigilance.
Bullfinch, of course, aka Grunt County, winning, I believe it was the EMEA part of the CBI Swiss, and Williams coming in at uh, also, I believe, fourth place in the APAC pod. So we are down to, I believe, the top six players. Yes, we are down to the top six. So between these two hopefuls, as well as in the other side of the chase bracket would be some Pernis and Analyze Chris. We just saw Analyze Chris last round before the break, of course. And then in the lower bracket final, 2 rounds from now, we'll be seeing Tyrus waiting for the winner of these four players. And then after that will be Minstrel waiting in the grand final. So that'll be something to watch out for.
What can you tell me about the alco list that Bullfinch is playing? It's a little bit unconventional, it seems. Um, I'm noticing it's on one measured response, two scatter fields, and two humanoids, blood in the
Yeah.
water, like lots of sort of damage quirks.
Yes. So I think this is definitely a little bit of a different beast to the much more common uh, Oppo Research end of the line algos that have been like very popular all throughout this elevation season. But yes, as you correctly point out, this is on a single copy of measured response, and I think if you don't mind a little shout out here, there's I think the author of this particular innovation, at least the one who popularized it, was B Blum, who brought this to Worlds and did very well with it. I believe going 7-0 or something. And I have played with like this version myself and found it quite dynamic and less reliant on um, the runner like stepping into an Oppo research fork.
Yeah, I like the measured as it's you're just trying to go fast with HR and Regenesis, and then once you reach step 4, which you can do pretty quickly with this Regenesis Gucci push, measured responses online, and you have to be careful how much money you sink into trashing some of these expensive cards like Reaper Function, um, like
Yeah.
Ladder.
And importantly, it's like a little bit like faster on its feet than the end of the line versions in terms of like getting an actual flatline, because you don't need to wait for like a one turn turnaround for the runner to float tags before you flatline them. Right. And
Yeah,
then
and actually in the finals with at the New Year Showdown finals, we saw some potential flatlines with Blood in the Water and but
oh yeah, that's some pretty slick stuff, and yeah, definitely some interplay between like the different pieces there.
yeah.
I guess we can talk about the runner side though. This is a very standard looking Rec Hosh deck with Rec Breakers, Echelon, Buzzsaw, and Rising Tide. I think we saw this on stream a little bit earlier. just your very basic siege engine Red Hosh. I think this should be a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think some of the notable includes are 3 copies at the price to just set up faster, maybe hitting some of the skill skins and fragments along the way. But also
Yep.
only 1 copy of Nuka, so your burst room might be a little tight.
Yeah. So normally it's very rare, like these days at least, to see like so many copies of the price without any backup recursion, such as your Ashen Epilogue or Buffer Drive or what have you. But looks like, as you say, prioritizing the speed here. And looks like we're off. Bullfinch already going with the triple install turn 1. GL and HF.
Yeah, and having a second install really introduces a lot of threats because with a single iced asset, Bladderwork can't get into Bladderwork range, but once you have 2, Bladderwork can potentially do the ping. So Bladderwork cohort would be ideal. I'm seeing a Nuka and a Keiko come down.
Yeah. There's one nuker, as you observed. This is off the mulligan, for the record, so I think Williams won't be too unhappy with what his mulligan do. Samak Moon is the access from HQ, choosing not to contest either of server 1 or 2. Uh,
Yeah, I think this host wants to get into some of its tech for trashing asset before contesting too aggressively. So getting a fencer, getting a solidarity badge can go a long way.
yeah, absolutely. I'm also noticing that the one Simul chip wisdom, which is the one concession to recursion that we have in this list. Fair enough. Right, and we're just going to last click overdraw with Nuka and discard a price. Okay.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
and a humanoid resources and a blind. Oh, that is
Wow,
maximum
that's a
value
really
there.
good start.
Yeah. So go.
I guess the only downside is that we're probably going to be out of Bladderware range this turn.
Yes. So that's true, but I think Bullfinch uh, won't be crying too much about that given like this humanoid, and we'll see like what the 2 installs are, where they're going, shall we say, and then if I think that the best case scenario here would be like a cohort guidance program server 1, and like failing that, if we get a Hansen review fire. Oh, not just a hedge fund. So, but if this is a cohort guidance program in server 1, we likely, that's like the cleanest way to get a alco trigger on turn 3.
And eyeing up HQ, since humanoids likely draw you into a bunch of agendas. All right, and off the Nuka, we get a fencer, getting a
Mhm.
Keiko credit as well, fermenter. So this is going to be really good for Econ to start contesting the board, and Gotcha Farm.
Oh, yeah. And oh, yeah, it is a cohort. Yeah, I think both players are going to be quite happy with their openings this game. We'll see what Bullfinch can do from this position. Going to have access to a lot of resources here, and probably wants to start like getting the board built up more before this fencer Fueno can start getting to work on clearing it. And here we go.
I wonder if we'll end up seeing an Ice on Archives at some point too. Ah, there it is. To
Absolutely.
make
Now this
the
click, yeah, and Joe, yeah, yeah. So like these
ripping
are
it
like,
Gotcha Farm.
we will see a catch one pop, a rising tide. Oh, we could get another fermenter. Oh, if we wanted to get a twinning starting charge early, this is like one way to do it. Although I don't know if you're just interested in uh getting that down so like this early before like the fundamentals are set up yet.
Yeah, because getting a twinning would take you down uh,
Yeah, down
a
to 2
credit.
credits, and then you would need to charge it off the fencer by trashing something, and then those are clicks you're not investing into setting up a board. We see a pinhole threading removed from the game. Okay, that's a
Interesting.
bold call.
And the Riding Tide being removed, which seems okay because we have 3 in this deck. We're getting the Gramond instead, so that suggests we might like Pinhole Gramond another card if we already have a Pinhole on hand.
Sure. Yeah, and definitely both this FUT and this cohort are like high priority targets on this board. I want to say the FUT a little bit more so because of course, like as anyone that's played against like Alco in like the past maybe month has realized by now, like a very common play pattern is they just get an ice FUT, and then especially with like the face down cards you get from cohort and from the ID, you get a very easy hybrid release score for like 2 damage, 3 damage, and an install from Archives, which is like can be an incredible tempo swing in both directions. And
It looks like we
looks
just
like
chose to trash the Bladderwort with money, which gives you the Keiko credit and gives you the badge counter. So it looks like a lot of the tech is here. We've Melee Gachapon, but a lot of the
yes.
liquid money seems to rely on that fermenter, which could get purged here. Or if the Bullfinch draws into the one of Malaria, it could also be a bit of a blowout.
Yeah, so the solidarity badge is like obviously excellent for like card sustain against alco. Ooh, that's a very nice paladin pommel. And a very nice paladin
Mhm.
pommel install and remove from game. But just won't complain about that one.
Yeah, and the Keiko credit on the off turn.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But what was I saying? Yeah, this solidarity badge, normally excellent into alco, just because you're trashing so many things, and like and
Mhm.
against the Oppo research version, it is a great insulation. Ooh, that's a buzzsaw install, not a
Oh,
paladin. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise.
interesting.
And we remove getaway strike one, so we're keeping both paladins and increasing our odds of drawing them in subsequent times. Okay, fair enough. Uh, but yeah, the badge definitely good, but possibly it's less of a critical install in this particular matchup than it is versus the Oppo variations, because like there isn't any tag threat, so this is mostly just going to be used for card draw.
Yeah, and look, this Hoshiko's already drawn through half the stack in what, like 5 or 6 turns? Looks like we're
Yeah,
challenging the foot.
that's what Gatchaman
I'm
does. Oh,
I
this is
wonder
a
if Belgium
little
has a
bit.
way to get into server 4 because server 4 could be a very easy Regenesis push.
Yeah, and
Ooh, the
Scatterfield. Ooh,
Scatterfield.
oh, this is gonna sting though. 4 credits. Oh, it's credit perfect to get in and trash the foot.
Yeah,
Like
but going down to 0 might.
it's
I guess you get 1 credit back on the Keiko.
You get
So
one
we
credit back on
hopefully
the
have a.
Keiko, and Hoshiko
Mhm.
remains flipped, so this is a little bit of a double-edged sword. And definitely now we won't be able to trash the cohort, right? Or we don't dare to go on this. Notable, of course, that we
Yeah.
do trash with credits again instead of the command. I wonder what's the plan for the rest of the turn then.
Wonder if there's a raindrops or a strike fund in hand. So Belgium really needs contact. Because we're just running server 4, I'd be happy to take any damage off of Anemone.
Yeah, absolutely. So we expect server 4 to be some kind of agenda push. It's
Oh,
this one is gonna sting. This one is gonna sting.
oh, with 6 cards in
What
hand, Belgium doesn't flatline,
Yeah,
thankfully.
so we 0% chance of flatlining here, but with zero extra hits. That's
Wow, it just
honestly
hit a Gachapon,
that's
a Hana, and
yeah.
an
Uh,
Eru.
that's interesting actually. If you notice, this hybrid release, Bofinch elected not to fast advance it from hand with the FUT
Mhm.
last turn, and instead chose to slow roll it. So there was a little bit of a punish here with Vilden so fearlessly checking both FUT and the size and time remote. But
Yeah, why do you
I
think he
think,
waited on the hybrid?
yeah,
Hmm.
the silver lining,
Maybe he
of course,
wanted to
for
get a
Bullfinch,
better.
yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, definitely a bigger FUT, right?
mhm,
Uh, but I think won't be too unhappy. Like the silver lining is, of course, is that you've basically infinite alcohol counters for the rest of the game as long as this cohort sticks. So still plenty of gas in the tank to go again and say, we jam again in 3, jam again in 4. Williams,
mhm.
you are going on 0 credits after the host trigger this turn. You can't keep this up forever.
Yeah, Vildom's not yet showing a good way to break Saisentan. Unless he's just going to do it with his face, which, host draw, bad draw, takes him up to 6. He could go through it again, getting a
You
Hunt
could,
too. The archive's getting really loaded here.
yeah, 5 cards, 5 face downs already.
Mhm.
But yes, I mean you do raise a point that um, both 3 and 4 are technically crackable with the resources that Williams has available, but uh, definitely part of like this kind of like single ice asset gameplay is daring the runner, shall we say, to get into remotes that they can get into, like
Mhm.
multiple turns on end, like expending their resources with like semi-important and semi-critical pieces. We will note again that there wasn't a FUT res in either of these servers. Maybe that's significant. Oh, this leech is good though. This leech is very good.
This
It
is going
takes
to
the
make
scatter field.
Scatterfield a lot more breakable.
Yeah.
But still in 0 credits, it's really awkward. I don't think we've seen a single event econ played by the Hoshiko. We haven't seen a Strike Fund or Getaway or Gamble played. We've only seen two of
Yeah,
them
so
removed.
the only getaways we've seen are the ones been off the gachapon and one has been removed from the game. Just getaway and strike fund removed from the game.
Mm.
Uh, and I Yeah, and like
Just
it
keep them
was like a
drawing.
very good initial start with the double gachapon from
Mm.
Williams, but I think after choosing to install the buzzsaw instead of the paladin pommel on the second gachapon pop, I think we are like seeing the effects of seeing the repercussions of that decision right here, and it's like
And
going to be up to Williams to decide or to make that play or reject. Oh, that is the
yeah,
maximum punish, isn't it?
but it was fairly safe too, because Belgium's on 0 credits couldn't break the
Yeah,
scatter
yeah,
field
yeah.
and probably couldn't break what we expect to be Bochu on our guides.
Absolutely. So the Vim's may be able to recontest server 3 now with 1 credit. You can run R&D for a almost certainly painless leech counter, and then check server 3, get your fencer bucks, and uh, spend your fencer bucks and possibly also your badge, get your badge counter. Assuming of course
Yeah,
this isn't another agenda.
Server 4 wasn't rezzed, so that makes me think it's a Spin Doctor or a Moonpool to save archives just to be safe. And yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like we are starting with
a
a run
very
in
good
R&D.
influence. Oh, that is, come on now.
That is a little awkward.
That's just rude. That's just rude. I mean, you do get your badge, but
Yeah,
Fencer's
and you can run
Fencer's still
back.
a little angry.
Can run back CNU card.
Yeah. So you can. So let's say you click to run R&D, click 3 check scanner. That takes you to exactly 0. Is there like a 4 trash cost punish in the list? No, it looks like we're not like importing any wage workers or anything to that effect. So anything that's in server 3 is 100% trashable or stealable.
Yeah,
Again,
Bill does
presuming
have
there
to
is
start
enough. But
playing around measured response. So if he suddenly takes damage from like a Fuji touch or like a surprise spot res, he might be a little bit careful. But yeah, taking our line,
yeah,
paying the least counter, spending the
uh,
1 credit to break the battlefield.
yeah. Okay, so if server 3 is a Fuji, it's not a Fuji, it's a cohort. But if it was a Fuji, that might have been the game, right? Just off the damage.
Yeah, well, you could draw up to 4, and then
You
you're
could drop to
potentially
yeah,
safe.
it could drop to 4. There's steel skins involved, of course. We haven't seen any of them yet.
Taking another credit, getting the coach flip. So we're really hovering around that 3, 4 credit line this whole game. Sensor keeping us
Yeah,
afloat.
yeah, and it's just the speed of like alco and like the tempo at which you can put out threats that is keeping Williams from like just setting up this siege engine that we've seen like in previous rounds and definitely in last week in the Swiss version of the Swiss portion of the event. Yeah, and here we go, just more stuff. And oh, another remote. Okay, so not jamming behind scatter. Uh,
Yeah, I
of course,
suppose Scatter
Bullfinch.
is the
Yeah,
one that can be broken, but with all centralized too, it's gonna be hard to get another weak counter.
yeah, absolutely. Of course, Bullfinch. So looking at the ice spread, there is like a single white space and fly swatter. In terms of other code gates, these are small code gates that Buzzsaw can go through without leech. So I this is it's entirely possible that at least some of this single ice unrest ice is a bluff to just discourage VMs from like face checking. But if let's say we run this archives and it's like a white space, then we have a
Ooh,
oh no, never mind Boto. Oh, that is a really good
yeah.
res.
Yeah, we ripped the echelon off the price, but oh no, and the net damage hits the third rising tide, I believe, because
Wait,
we
is that
hit
the
one of them on the
third?
price. Yeah, because
Oh
one
my
was
goodness,
RFC from
you're
the
right.
Gachapon, so you might just not be able to break
Yeah,
barriers for the rest of the
yeah,
game.
so VMs will need to find this Simul chip.
Hmm.
Uh, this a single Simul chip that's in the list in order to get more fractal access. And as you call out, this is a massive problem, right? Because because this Bordeaux on archives, like, I mean, Bullfinch could just straight up win next turn right with another Regenesis play.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Moonpool and Regenesis, even Moonpool Fuji on the table is a possible scoring line.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And
Bullfinch
looks like
thinking, okay, possibly thinking about if this is an anemone, right? You definitely don't mind raising it in a normal circumstance given this credit total. Of course, the problem right now is 2 cards in HQ is not a lot of cards in HQ, and you might want to keep this. Oh, it's a scatter field. Okay,
oh
so okay, this is perfectly fine. Right, surely you,
yeah, this is probably
um,
safe.
yeah, Williams can't break this.
You can
This is
even pitch
perfectly
a Genesis safely to archives because he's not showing a way to get into Butu, let alone afford it for maybe like 4 or 5 more turns.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I feel like uh Williams' last click is kind of forced to be on server 5, would you say? Like just to double check you're not gonna like insta lose to another Regenesis.
Yeah, maybe. I think just came down to server 3. You know, we don't often see the first sub on the Scatterfield Fire for full text,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
leaving that server open meant that Wolfen's just might have perfect options here. So yeah, server
yeah,
5, I think that's your best shot. Hope that maybe it's a Samak that you can take damage.
yeah, exactly. Like it's the one thing that you can still break, not counting of course other anemones. Yeah, there we go. Vince just made the call.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
another.
it's
Oh,
another Votu.
that is brutal. I mean, we go to
It does
exactly
take.
0 cards in HQ. I
Mhm.
probably doesn't matter that much.
Oh, and he loses silent chip too, so that's
Oh, no,
truly
okay, yeah.
goodbye
Well,
for
that's yeah. Surely
clear
that's
now.
game, right? You have no way. You have no more way to break Bodo left in the deck. That trickster Taka snack or regen face
Uh,
up is now. That's
wow.
so we're just gonna cohort flip a regen to score another regen, and we're just
Yeah.
getting double regen Fuji in 3 turns. That's a statement game by Bullfinch, I have to say.
Yeah, 8 turns, really. 8 turns, 8 points, really impressive stuff. Belgium
Yeah,
shouting out that the first bladder where it pinged the Trickster Taka from hand, which would have been good credits ticking up to break the Scatterfield repeat, for example.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, Villains could have made excellent use of that Taka if he had access to
Mm.
it.
Um,
But yeah,
no, really well
yeah,
played.
yeah.
Unfortunate end of the run for William, but really well played by him, making it to the top 6 of a tough,
Top
tough,
6.
tough top cut.
Yeah, and congratulations to Bullfinch for making it into the top 4 of the CBI.
Is the other
And
game still
looks
running?
like the other
Looks
game
like
may have finished.
it looks like the argument may have finished. Let's probably are able to find out how it went.
Yes, the other game has
But
ended in a corporation win for Analyze Chris. So
yes, another LEO win this time against Lu. I suppose this matchup on paper is fairly LEO favored, um, just by inspection. But
mhm,
of course, congrats to Analyze Chris as well, making it top 4. And some opponents as well for top 6 of the CBI. And I believe that means we have our top 4 settled, right? Which is Bullfinch and Lice Chris, who will be playing against each other now. I'm not sure about the side balance of these 2 players. Both of them played Corp in the last round.
mhm,
Winner of that game will go on to face Tyrus in the loser bracket final. Uh, and the winner of that game will have to win 2 games against Minstrel, who is currently undefeated at the top of the bracket, to be crowned the Circuit Breaker.
yeah. All right, I guess we'll just take a quick break before we come back for Analyze Chris and Bullfinch in the lower bracket semifinals.
It should be a
Yeah.
very short break. Apparently, they're going right into pairings, so very
Okay, looks like
quickly.
they're just
But yeah,
getting set up.
we'll be right
Yeah,
back.
see everyone in a minute. Be right back.
And now, broadcasting live from our near-Earth hub studio, we bring you this NBN special report.
Hit it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're in the lower bracket finals between Analyze Chris and Bullfinch. I'm Laura.
And I'm Jai.
And we'll be doing the comms today. Looks like Bullfinch will be corping again. So we're seeing the output that we saw in the previous round with the measured
Yeah.
response, the really nutty, super fast tempo 8-turn win against Analyze Chris's Sev. What are your thoughts on this matchup, Jai?
Ooh, I think on the face of it, I think as long as Seb doesn't get like immediately outpaced straight out of the gate by Alco, I think and as Chris is in a reasonable position with the deck that he has to get a control of the board and therefore the game. Right? We talked a little bit about like the trash tech in the Hoshiko deck from last round. Cards like, for example, the Solidarity Badge, which I expect we'll see this more of the same from this set, except that set is much more able to make use of like the tag removing aspect of it. in this matchup.
Yeah, especially if you have. Oh, interestingly, so some decks remove the tag and then get a draw 2 off of Amanuensis, but this deck is not playing Amanuensis, it's playing this Marrow that we see at this console, just to play a really
Yes.
big hand size to be safe from measures. I'm surprised we're going all the way down to one
Yeah,
card in hand on this
installing a
turn.
marrow. Okay. I mean, we're not gonna die on. We're not gonna die on one card. Okay, so
We play Steel Skin.
yeah. So just to note, yeah, this marrow install, the last two cards in hand of this marrow install were the Steel Skin and the Strike Fund that eventually got trashed. So there's a 100% hit rate here of this marrow.
Just make your own luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris,
I was
I'm
gonna
sure
say
didn't
that
want to be. Mhm.
yeah, ending on 2 cards would have been a little bit spicy for Analyze Chris, given that Bullfinch has Blood in the Water access, and like you definitely don't want to be giving up 3 points this early in the game.
Exactly what I was going to say. But now that we can drop to 7, Blood in the Water will be very dead. Now, with the Iceman
Yeah.
Archives, this could be as soon as a turn 2 or Genesis push. We may have Hansei away a Fuji at the first turn.
Oh yeah, yeah. This would be extremely fast.
I wonder.
Okay, just a thought experiment. Is a 7-2 Blood in the Water the worst agenda in Netrunner? Oh my goodness,
So it is a
you are not
Genesis.
serious.
Wow, it's so bold because that turn on Hansei, there was nothing protecting the card in Archives, protecting the
Yeah,
Fuji.
it's just straight up, you know.
Oh, and another funny
naked
synergy. The
Fuji
Marrow creates the Sabotage 1, so Bullfinch trash 1 from the hand, getting the second
and got the alcohol trigger. Yes, very nice. Okay, am I right to say okay? So, a transfer of getting hit off the Samak. Okay, cohort is the very easy trash, and this is a double access, right? Because of the manual, and manual
Yes.
is on threat now, so this thing is not getting trashed anytime soon.
Okay, that's a good hit to get Varus out of the way.
But yeah.
Right. So while Bullfinch is at 4 points, I think the plan for Analyze Chris will be to really pressure all the assets and the money to just not give Bullfinch a way to get out. But with the petty cash, being on 6 means that we're in range to res Butu, in range to res Saisentan. Analyze Chris is going to need to produce a way to deal with ice like a crew quite
we
soon.
definitely need the crew. Okay, I just wanna ask out loud. Transfer. Oh wow, we are sending a transfer through Samak.
Wow.
That is
And we're not even getting the value off of
yeah,
Sev because we're floating one tag already. So
yeah, exactly.
maybe Analyze Chris is feeling slightly unfavored here.
And we lost
Big
we
anemone
lost
and a
Charm,
Swamp.
Buffer Drive, and a badge. That's okay. Anemone Samak. Yeah. Wow, and that's Chris really putting a very high priority in this matchup on just sweeping HQ. I guess he doesn't want to lose to like another agenda push before it can, and wants to head off an agenda push before it can hit the board. I will say Bullfinch has the ability to just win the game this turn if it's another like regen Fuji. Okay, thank God.
But it's a humanoid, which is a very good way to bounce back.
Oh, that would be unreal if Bullfinch scores like 4 regen Fujis in 7 turns across 2 games. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Like at what point are we allowed to call them like the Fuji Whisperer, you know?
One card in Archives is all you need. Okay, but now we have the object coming out. So this can be good to trash the Bladder in server 2.
Yes.
And then probably use the object counter to contest server 1. However, if it is an anemone, it's gonna take all your cards out of hand to deal with this. And yeah, there it is.
Ow, oof, ouch, ow, yeah. Was gonna say like Chris, definitely you might as well. Okay, I guess if you want to save your counter, you can leave the you can say that you can just let Bullfinch have the third algo counter.
Yeah, because it's kind of a wash. You're losing a card from hand anyway, so either to boost Audrey's strength or
Yeah.
when they're nothing.
It's going to be the same card regardless. You don't get to choose.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, so Chris chooses to deny the counter, and we'll refund it back off this cohort trash. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like Bullfinch may have just misclicked the alert button. But yeah, Analyze Quest on 0 cards in hand. It means Blood in the Water can just get scored. Okay, there's a high risk, so we're on the 5.7.
Oh, if this is a blood in the water. Oh!
Oh my god! 7 points in 6
Fuji
turns, we run even
Whisperer does it!
faster!
That was
Incredible
disgusting. Oh my
That's
god.
incredible. How? Oh. Oh my god. So
Oh,
the
Bullfinch.
pause was because Bullfinch trashed the Blood in the Water to the Anemone res by accident, and he was going to undo. But then he realized that it opened him up to this play on this turn, because Analyze Chris was running last click, so he decided to leave it. And yeah, Chris saying that he would have loved for Bullfinch to take that back.
Oh,
Wow, truly an incredible game. 6-turn win.
6 turns. Oh, I mean, I do love me some scoring alcohol, but that was filthy.
That was amazing.
We won 2 alco games in 14 turns. How long did it take, like minutes wise? Like 25?
Bullfinch is trying to speed run through CBI.
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
I feel like this has to be a world record for like regenesises per minute.
I think so.
Like, yeah, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
That game was certainly
Yeah.
world record for something. Wow. 2 incredible bluffs in a row.
And kudos to Analyze Chris, really played an amazing, amazing run in a tough field. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, this is where we'll have to see him out. So
Well,
since that game was so fast, are they just going to jump right into Bullfinch versus Tyrus? Or are we going to have to wait
Yeah.
for Tyrus to be called from the luxury of waiting at the end of lowest bracket?
I believe they'll go right into it as soon as Tyrus is around.
Okay.
Probably a 3 to 5 minute break, so I'll send us to another short break while we wait for the next round.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the CBI Top Cut. I'm Jai. I'm Laura. I'm here with Jai.
No. You don't take it back. I'm Laura. What's up, man? All right, Jai, what's going on? What's up from this matchup?
Well, we've seen some amazing AUCO games. Now Bullfinch is on the runner side, playing Hoshiko against an AUCO. This is a slightly different AUCO than last ones we've seen. This one's on hostile architecture, wage workers, and some really expensive crashables, but also playing the one of measure response as a backup. Yeah, and then on the Hoshiko side, pretty reg stuff overall. 3 clean getaways, 2 pinholes, botchlists, gourmands, wasted trash. Yeah, how do you think this matchup will go? Do you think we'll see another 6-turn game?
I highly doubt that we'll see another 6-turn game. Just looking at the matchup. So Tyrus is on as we said, hostile architecture alco. This was very popular very early on in the elevation meta. It fell out of favor with all the alco. With all the operators running around, but looks to have made a comeback, being played, I think, mostly by EA Sports. And Bullfinch, we've already seen this Hoshiko. I think it's very similar. Yeah, it is like 3 king getaways, 2 pinhole threadings, and then Yuka. And I think importantly, these two players have already met earlier in the bracket. Tyrus beat Bullfinch in this same matchup in round 3 of the cut.
Ooh, so we have a bit of a grudge match here.
Yeah.
Looks like Tyrus went for a keep and Bullfinch went for a mulligan. It's always a little scary when Alco keeps their hand. It could mean that they just have like all the perfect assets from the get-go, cohort, Bladderworth.
The nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So there's a little thing I like to say about like alco gameplay, and this is a little bit facetious, but I think speaks a bit to the truth of like how you're supposed to play deck, which is when you are playing alco, like your 2 paths to victory is like installing turn 1 cohort plus ice, and cutting all your opponent's pinholes to the bottom of the deck. Your plan B is, of course, to install 10,000 FUT jump protect stars with powers that be, and just like make your opponent trash your FUT every turn for the rest of the game, and that's a pretty good way to win as well. Bullfinch thinking about this Samak fire.
Yeah,
This is definitely firing.
Choice.
Yeah. I choose to let this one go. Okay.
Yeah, the risk is if you can take the 3 damage and maybe you trash the cohort, that could be really good for you. But if it's like possibly even a Fuji or something with a FUT on the table, that could be a lot of pain. I'm seeing Petty Cash and Fronter coming down. Okay, so pretty
biggest
good
punish here would be if it's Blad. Okay, Bladwood outside makes a lot of sense. Oh, and this is the absolute worst case scenario for Bullfinch, right? Cohort Bladwood credit perfect.
It's gonna get
your
him exactly back to 3, so you can
alco,
play the Petty if you need to.
Yeah, Petty Crash and Alco counter on turn 2. Alco fire on turn 2. That's crazy. Incredible tempo from coming out of Tyrus.
Bullfinch might be regretting not checking the Bladderworth and running HQ instead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see a Keiko in hand. Like I imagine that might have been one of the cards that Bullfinch was trying to protect by not letting the Samak fire. But looks like it happened anyway. And I do wonder if it might have been better to check server 2 instead of HQ. But we're definitely obviously past that point now.
Now with triple install, we'll probably be able to res and dump back in the bladder range. Even worse, if you res a hostile architecture for 5 credits, going down to 1, but ready with the bladder to take you back up for 1, and then the cohort to go back for another 2. That's the awkward thing about host too. If you have to keep trashing these things, you're gonna keep sapping your money.
Yeah. Okay, Rising Tide is a reasonable response, but you will need, this is a 5 credit cohort trash, and Tyrus will be able to reject. Okay. Very, very valid trash. One Reaper less on the table is potentially one less way that Tyrus will be able to duck below the bladder threshold this coming turn. So we'll see like what are these other installs.
I wonder if Tyrus is considering whether to res to get into bladder range right now.
Yeah, to pre-res something, right? If it's like maybe unlikely to be another Reaper, but maybe for example a Moonpool. that's a hefty chunk to trash as well. So you're not even too sad to trade credit for credit here. Oh, so
You called it. It was a
is
moon
the
pool.
access.
And declining to
And
trash it because yeah, that would take
yeah,
Bullfinch down to 1 and then 0 after Hoshiko.
yeah, we probably see Tyrus rest this, right?
Yeah, now that it's
Consider.
known and you're gonna get the damage on Flatterer, it seems fairly worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
you can
go.
see the res. So yeah, going down 2 credits means that Flatterer will do damage. I think a Buzzsaw from hand.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a slightly awkward draw from Bullfinch, getting breakers before your companions and drift.
Yeah, definitely not what I wanted to see. So in terms of cold gates, we see the triple white space coming out of this alco variation. So the leech definitely not needed in this matchup, at least not for this ice type.
Yeah, and that's just Pyrus just getting another 2 alpha counters with the Bladderer and the cohort.
Yeah.
Drawing into so many options, probably going to be another triple advance, maybe even quadruple advance with the wage workers. Oh, ripping another petty from archives. It's always great when you do your alco and you see the top 3 and trash 1, and you see a petty. You can make a pretty easy choice.
Yeah, I think Bullfish is definitely needs to contest like the econ assets on the board very soon. If not, I think you're just going to get completely buried under the value that Tyrus has been generating off of this board.
It can feel very fruitless sometimes too, though, because you trash the Bladderer and it turns out that there's 2 more, in server 7 and 12. Then you feel like you've just gone down to 0 credits while they're bouncing back up. But it looks like
Yeah.
we're icing what was on server 3, so the unchecked card, what could it be?
Yeah,
Maybe it's a FUT that's going to be res now?
yeah, it is curious as to what 3 is. I mean, there are some lines where it's an agenda. Oh no, it is a fun. Okay, very good.
Yeah, so just making it more annoying, making it so that we have lots of ways to score on this turn. With the res Moonpool, there's even Genesis threats where we Moonpool a card into archives, and then
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we will kill this bladder. So in theory, we shouldn't be seeing another alcohol trigger this turn. Although of course, if a regenesis play is on the cards, Tyrus won't be wanting to use that alcohol trigger this turn anyway.
Pirates may consider just letting Cohort for 1 more turn and then purging, because that Fermenter represents all of Wolfen's money right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
I
here's a
think
moment of truth to
Tyrus.
see what Cohort does.
Yeah, will
Ooh,
be a
Cohort's turning
flip.
face up.
Okay. So we likely see a. So this will be 2 damage of the FUT and like not counting what else that we see here. So double advance regenesis is happening. Yes.
Looks like it.
Are we
The
thinking?
1 remaining.
Oh no, powers that be installed. No, that's not a powers that be. Wait, there isn't even a powers that be in the deck. What am I talking?
Okay,
Oh, there
we
is
just
a powers that be in the
installed.
deck. Wait, what is this server 8? Hello?
I guess we just installed it to flex.
I guess, sure. Yeah, Bullfinch calling.
Yeah.
I think yes. I mean, yes, Bullfinch. You are not the only person allowed to score Regenesis Fuji.
Yeah. Wolfen's
Come
getting
on
a taste
now.
of
Let other people have
their
the
own
fun.
medicine.
Let's go to Fuji. Yeah, I think everything seems above board. Janet is
Yeah,
letting
because
us do
Cohort
it.
was declined. Cohort did
Yes.
the flip face up.
Cohort was a flip instead of a trash to draw. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, regen on board. I think yeah, everything seems in order.
Yeah. And yeah, that's just so much tempo. Getting 4 points while doing 2 damage as a runner.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and
Yeah,
then I
really
think
great.
this
And with that,
fermenter pop is forced this turn, right? Almost certain. You almost certainly have to pop this fermenter, run cohort, and then see what you want to do with the rest of your clicks. But I think those 2 are mandatory if you want to keep playing.
you have to run the Moonpool at some point too, because that's going to let Tyrus score 3-2 so easily. And I think this deck is playing a good amount of 3-2s. It's playing the
Yeah, it's on.
Longevity Serum and 2 Stereocultures. So just
Yeah.
easy 3-2s left and right.
I think it is a little bit of an interesting decision to play sericultures, like 3-2s in general, right? 3-2s in general over Blood in the Water, as we see Bullfinch and some other players elect for. Especially given that, in theory, this deck should have a slightly easier time scoring a fast Blood in the Water because of Reaper functions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But just
We'll see
choosing to go
here.
for the
Okay.
more reliable 3-2s. All right, we see the pinhole hitting the.
We
I assume the
expect
cohort, but giving a window for Tyrus to use the Moonpool if he
Yeah.
wants.
I feel like I would rather hit the FUT on this pinhole because like we are only saving 2 credits compared to running the Sumac directly with this Rising Tide. And I think given that, we'd rather have the pinhole still in hand. Undo that click. Okay, so I guess you're saving 3 credits because you're spending companion money.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyrus allowing this undo. I think
So doing
in
a clean
theory,
getaway.
yeah, okay, getaway, very very valid. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think in theory Tyrus was within his rights to deny that take back, given that there is a Moonpool on board that he can pop, but clearly there's no action happening on the other side of the table, so I think no harm, no foul done here in this case. And
So if
yeah,
Super 8 or Genesis, we could score out again.
yes, we would need to Moonpool now on the runner end turn and then triple advance. That a completely valid play, and I think definitely an ironic way for Bullfinch's CBI run to end, given how the last 2 games have gone.
All right, but looks like we have no starter turn trigger, so nothing res, which is a little bit surprising. But Tyrus probably just wants to get back into the money, maybe find a cohort to stick again, maybe credit into Hansei, thread and measures.
Yeah. Okay, so it does kind of beg the question as to what 6 and 8 are. We know that's likely not going to be the powers that be. So perhaps spare farts lying around, spare moon pools maybe, or hostile. I can never forget if it's architecture or infrastructure. Architecture, that's right.
It's architecture now, yes. Or just be spin doctors, um,
Yeah.
a
So
Reaper that you're waiting. There's also a cheeky Urtica. There's one Urtica Cypher in this list,
oh
so
yeah,
that could be damage if you run
that
it.
is a good shout. So we do click for a single credit. So the read is that we don't have any econ immediately accessible.
Right, and
And we're
just
just
getting
setting
down
up.
Hannah, getting down Badge, ready to trash the board ++3.
Yeah. Notable that we still are holding this pinhole threading that we know is in hand currently. Oh, and
There's another cohort.
here comes another cohort. So Tyrus back in the white, back in the black, I believe is the saying.
And that'll get him the second alpha counter too. So you should draw into lots of options to continue spamming things out
Yes.
onto the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this FUT fully charged on 2 counters, like there are like even options to go like hybrid release and keep like the hand pressure up.
With the Moonpool on the table, still res, still unchallenged. There should be lots of ways to score. So cohort crashing, code
Yep.
drawing.
Yeah, so notable that Bullfinch didn't make a successful run last turn, so measured response is currently turned off, but we are on threat 4, so it is something that Bullfinch has to take into account.
Yeah, and it's just such a menacing board state where there's things you need to trash and you need to start sealing agendas at some point. But every run at that 4 is risking your life. You know, you touch a Fuji does 2 damage, Butt does 3 damage. You just can't survive measured.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a FUT. Wait,
Resident
hold
powers.
up. Okay. So now we see, right? Now we see what we meant by Tyrus saying it's late. There was that comment earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
Forgot
So
to rest the powers.
yes, forgot to rest. So we went advance the regenesis, install the powers that be, forget to rest the powers that be. The classic play, and then of course this is not a rollbackable play because of the FUT doing the damage, right? So yeah.
Precisely. Powers bring back the Bladder Word. Pretty menacing stuff. There were possibly scoring lines. If you bring back a 3-2 and you could advance it once more, you might have enough agendas to score it with Moonpool.
Oh yeah,
But
actually,
Paris doesn't need to do anything fancy here. The moment he draws into a 3-2 and enough agendas with Calco, he's probably just gonna immediately score it.
yeah, for sure. Okay, Bullfinch, yeah, kind of can't really do anything now, and we expect draw into some wheels run, probably on the moon pool. Oh no, we're checking server 10. Okay.
Server 10. Case of any table agenda. Oh no, that's a bladder at least.
Yeah.
At least not fast, not powered.
And
Checking
we
the
just
last
check
card, but with
what's
one credit left, not much stuff we
And
can
so-
even trash.
it's hostile after you. Yeah, so Bullfinch is simply accepting that there's some percentage of losing to this moon pool on table this coming turn. Tyrus will see 5 cards between the Mando and cohort.
Yeah,
So
and the outcome,
odds
which
are decent.
Mhm. The moon pool on the table, I think you only need to see the 3-2 and one other agenda because you can install double advance at 3-2 and then moon pool it.
Yeah.
So it's not even one of those turns where you need to like draw into 3 agendas to get enough moon pool counters. It's pretty easy. So
Speaking of pretty easy, I think this might be it. Oh no,
let's stay instead to get the
it's
money.
not it. Okay. So Wolfinch gets another turn to try and like rescue this board state.
All right, yeah, just spamming out more things on the board. So Bladderword's turned offline now, but maybe we have some sort of Reaper function threat.
Reaper function is a possibility. Yeah, it's a little bit ironic. I do wonder like whether Tyrus was keeping the holding the Hansei back and waiting for Bullfinch to trash it before committing the Hansei. I think that would be like a great macro strategy to go for. Bullfinch finally
Dolphin's getting a
command
full
goes.
gamble off the 3 Mystic credits, so now getting to Hannah with the Gourmand to crash the cohort.
Yeah, yeah. This is like definitely a necessary move, but definitely you would have liked to have done it like quite some time ago. And we'll see if we're gonna command it or spend credits. So I think it. I mean, it comes back down to if you kind of have to kill this moonpool because it's so threatening. And yeah, here comes the hostile, right? And since
Yeah,
we are
so the
getting
guaranteed
five
damage.
as well, yeah, so we are paying uh dollars for this, and more than likely we're commanding this hostile.
I'll just draw back into enough cards you need to survive the one of measured. But it does mean that Pirates was guaranteed the second alpha counter. That, cohort's not going to pitch a card anymore, but hostile gives you the damage. So with another 2 alpha counters, a dig 3 more cards and 1 from the mandatory, Paris might just find the 3-2. That's how these games feel. You just sort of holding on to the edge of the seat to see if they draw the agenda, see if they draw the agenda, see if they draw the agenda.
And we are checking again. Okay, so this moon pool is once again going unchallenged, and I mean you feel like it's only a matter of time, right, before Tyrus, as you say, inevitably draws into it. We are seeing 4 cards off of this Alco plus Mendo, and yeah,
It looks like Server 13 was just another fight. It was nothing important. Just there as a bait to waste the runner's time.
all right, Tyrus taking his time before this turn start. Maybe is some Spin Doctor. Okay, oh that's even more card draw.
And we could shuffle back a 3-2 in archives in case we want to increase our odds of drawing it, and some of them have pitched already.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're taking a think whether we want to shuffle.
Yeah, of course, Tyrus has like no shortage of options. There's a Reaper function.
Oh.
Okay, I guess this is a. Do we have a kill here with measured response? Okay, not
I think
anymore.
possibly a
Never
bit short from measured though. Oh yeah, and hitting the steel skin.
Never mind. But yeah, but that was a little bit of a surprising Reaper function rest, considering. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, we still have this Moonpool rest, so you can always fast advance out instead of trying to get a kill if you don't see one.
I suppose if firing the Reaper opens up the line of scoring the Cyber to just do 3 damage off of foot, because 3 damage on
Oh yeah,
foot combined with the Reaper would flatline. Looks like we just use a
but
Moonpool.
yeah, Moonpool, and I think this more than likely should be it. Just a
Crafting an
Fuji,
agenda for me
yeah,
too.
but yeah, this is almost certainly a 3-2. Sarah expansion, yeah, GG. Credit, perfect.
Damn. Yeah, and like Tyrus really got off to a great start. Did the plan that you were saying to stick the cohort and the bladderware and the cohort behind ice. Just did so much work this whole game, getting constant output limiters, giving the corp economy really, really strong position quite quickly.
Mm. Yeah, congratulations. Tyrus has made it to the podium of the CBI 2026. And
Yeah,
Bullfinch in a
congratulations to
very,
Tyrus.
very respectable fourth place.
Yeah, Bullfinch played some absolutely amazing games that we saw on stream. Just amazing, super rushy Alco games. So it's a bit of a poetic ending that he should be taken out by this Alco game as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's
All right,
3 Alco wins that we have in like I want to say less than an hour, right?
yeah, I mean these games just go so fast. They just spam out
Yeah,
assets and then quickly get the Regenesis, get the
yeah,
4 out of the 7 points they need, and then score out
that's
passive and
good,
tap.
y'all.
But looks like we're setting up for the winners final now. So it's going to be Minstrel on Ob against Tyros' Sable now. Minstrel being undefeated has to only win 1 game, but Tyros would have to win 2 against Minstrel.
Yes. So notable that Minstrel already. Oh yeah, my apologies. I did say Bullfinch was fourth. Right? Bullfinch is in the podium on third. I missed that earlier, but yes, Tyrus playing now for the Circuit Breaker title against Minstrel. Minstrel already won their first encounter and the winner bracket final. This was sometime earlier.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be a rematch of the same corp. And I'll double check this. Uh, yeah, it looks like Minstrel won as Ob last time, so this will be an exact matchup of their same sides.
Mm-hmm. So this is up against, let's say,
Oh, really
the
exciting games all
Breaker.
today.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have woken up for this one. Uh, I mean, casting Netrunner tournaments is always a pleasure, and you know, doing it for the capstone event of the season, CBI. This will be the last major event, right? Not counting any like big districts that we will have in this meta before the release of Vantage Point. So, happy to be here at the end of it all.
Yeah, this will be a real send off to the elevation meta, and I think it's kind of appropriate that it's has been somewhat dominated by Alco. Though a lot of Ob too, and I think this Ob was a sort of late trend in the meta that I think also has fun kill slash scoring forks.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the Scrops list as we know it to be is definitely the breakout corp deck of last year's Worlds, right? I think that really can't be disputed. Had some strong finishes and like definitely took people by storm when it first came out.
Yeah, I think as we're gonna see coming up, hopefully in just a few moments, we'll double check with the organizers.
Yeah.
That Minstrel is playing a sort of Scrubs like Hog with Bass, uh, and scoring out the Basalt early.
Are we ready to go into it?
Um,
Yes, the game is already. It looks like the game is up.
yeah, looks like the game is up. So winners final. One shout out that's curious about Minstrel's Ob is instead of playing Nano Management, it's playing the Hollow Man, which you can fetch with Mavarus and prevents other ways to fast advance assaults on the table.
Yes, so it's definitely a little bit more credit intensive, but the upside is obviously much higher if you get the whole event to stick, of course.
Meanwhile, on the runner side, Harris is playing a fairly standard criminal. The one notable feature is they're playing Eru. So Eru is going to be a way to sneak in for some extra R&D digs in the last few
Yeah,
turns.
yeah, and I think like Tyrus has definitely skewed this particular build of Sable to much more bursty like more all in on the swing turns. We see like 3 copies of Hermes. Like normally most standard stock criminals, we only see 2 copies of this card. And expect to see it at some point during the game with the classic and so on and so forth. But Tyrus going for the triple Hermes and 2 reprise, which is not something we see except in mostly hard for some time.
Very cool. Looks like both players kept their hand. Minstrel starting with the install wagers and triple install. No age on HQ, so you would be dangerous to transfer, except for the fact that you could res some of your assets to hopefully up to 1 or even 0. It is a little tricky though, because if Tyrus has his money and then transfers you do have to show all your assets, and then he could just go trash them. Looks like we're jailbreaking HQ instead.
Ooh, this is an interesting play. Measure responsible. Do we trash that? It's maybe a bit too early in the game to trash this, surely.
Yeah, I think you just rest in the knowledge of the measures in hand and keep your money on to get ready to trash what are going to be some really expensive assets on the table. Probably Seagator, probably Regulus. And we see him a virus, which makes sense. So trash.
Yeah. Yeah, Mav is a nice trash here for free, getting like removing that option from the corp. Yeah, I think we might have to check the table for like regoliths here.
Yeah, because resing Regulus and then getting to hit it 3, maybe even 4 times off the wage workers is going to be a great economic bounce back for Minstrel. So seeing a wall to wall.
I think this is a
It's tough to trash that
breeze.
because it's probably just going to drip a card or a credit. So yeah, looks like we're passing on that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking here. Do
I
you
guess the
lock
other
in and transfer 2 and 4?
card that we have here is Antil. Like if we find it, yeah, there's the regolith. Yeah, that thing has got to go. Yeah, good on Tyrus to
Absolutely.
check.
Just
Oh,
drawing,
okay.
so letting server 2 spit.
So we'll see if we see the wall-to-wall res. Okay, yeah. And a sphere to go. Okay. Oh, that is a crazy open from Minstrel. So this hand was Wage Workers, sphere to go, wall-to-wall, Regolith, Mav, and Measure Response. That's crazy. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's hard to ask for better than that. Op can get slightly flooded on agendas sometimes. So we're just going for a triple install, 2 more assets, finally icing on HQ, not to transfer a spec, and then drawing 1 more card. That Sphere is probably going to do a lot of work to shore up Minstrel's Eatman right now if it doesn't get checked.
Okay. So Tyrus looks like his Mark roller is broken and is rolled in on the ice central. Might need to get a look at that one.
Though the Ice on HQ does turn on Bravado, which
That is
was
true.
dead last turn.
That is true. Yeah. So that we've got that going for Tyrus at least. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
HQ
guess the
Ice is
big
expensive like a
question.
Winchester.
Yeah. The big question for Tyrus is if you need to go on this wage or this fee to go on this turn. Like money is like still okay, but it's definitely not sustainable to do it for like too long. So this Shell Gamble will assist in that fee to go trash.
But then
What
the
is the
question remains what 6s 7 are. Those they could just be a second Sphere guard. Looks like we have a Carpe Diem. We are going to try to face check HQ. There aren't too many punishing face checks in this deck except for White Space. We sent you 3 credits, or After we think you 2. But everything else with no board state, like Winchester is blank.
Yeah, Winchester's blank.
Functionally.
Winchester's blank. Absolutely.
Ooh, and
So
seeing Asiad.
Oh, that is nice. Okay. I would say not to click those 2 points.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You now have to be worried about when the next any future accesses could get you to threat 4 and the danger of measures, which you do know there's 1 in hand. But Minstrel just can't afford double measured right now. All right, there's an Antil.
A naked Antil, alright.
Possibly going to get extracted because extracted or iced because I see that going down 100% this turn.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worth noting that this Spin Doctor itself is also reasonably threatening. And it's good that Tyrus has like cleaned out that first Aziz from HQ because like the threat of slash and burn and getting basically a free 2-pointer and a base into triple regolith into wage workers, that's a good value. Okay.
Hitting the regular 4 times with an extra click spared because you gain the click from the Bass and the wage workers. You could even click to the 5th time to empty into 1 turn to really flex on your opponent. Looks like we're installing something else in server 9, producing more problems. But leaving the Antil open is a bit surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I do expect that Minstrel is expecting the Antil to go down this turn to get trashed and wants to use the instead of emptying the entire Rugal if you wanted, is wants to use the last tick of it to fetch a wall-to-wall or some other one-cost thing of next turn's op trigger.
Ah, yes, because if they Bast for the Regolith, so they already use Ob that turn.
Exactly.
So getting a gamble, probably digging for a run of it in Archives we didn't find. So we might just have to. Oh, we found Pinhole.
Pinhole is a really good shout here. Okay, so do you pop the spin now?
That's a good question. You're not exactly forced to, and you have lots of ways to tutor the spin. So if they do end up trashing it, I don't think you're too upset about that. You can, yeah, you can speed the Regolith into a wall to wall, and then speed the wall to wall into a spin doctor down the line. So yeah, Ob usually they value their spin doctors, but getting them trashed isn't the end of the world.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, here comes the wall-to-wall as discussed, but this time it's clickless instead of having to click for 3 credits. And
Notably, the
embarrassment
wall to
of
wall doesn't
focus for
trigger. It misses the wall to wall triggers at start of turn, but it gets installed by the Speaker, which also triggers at start of turn. So we miss those windows, but it's going to start taking the next turn and fetch anything like a spin doctor if you need. So we're going for a triple draw, getting the Wage Workers click, and then last click installing an ice on the Wage Workers. Makes a lot of sense.
This ice on wage workers is especially good because we've just seen Tyrus commit a pinhole threading to killing the board, and of course you can argue that it wasn't like strictly necessary to use a pinhole rather than running the remote directly. But I mean, there's a few perks that push Tyrus in this direction, right? The fact that it was clickless off of the mark, the fact that there was some odds of trying to force Minstrel to blink, right? To blink first and to pop the spin. Of course, even though that didn't happen. But transfer, this is a
Looks like we're
naked
going for a
transfer.
transfer. This is really bold, just calling Winchester and getting it right.
That is a sick Winchester read, I have to say. Measure
I guess that
response
was a
to
perk of the
attacks.
earlier Carpe. The fact that they didn't res on the Carpe tells you that the only thing that
Yeah,
really makes sense
with
for him
no
to be
board,
is
right?
the Winchester.
Exactly. So Afsha is a snap res, Maskirovka is a snap res. Maybe not envelopment, but you're happy to see an envelopment. You're happy to poke for an envelopment, I think. And here comes
Oh,
a
interestingly, we're
trash.
clean getaway trashing the Spigator. We're floating a tag, so Mitchell does have the option to trash the Nuka.
Yeah, it's an option. Uh, I don't suppose that does Minstrel have any option to fast advance from here? Looks like we are not. So because we are on Holoman instead of this nano management, it looks like we can't fast advance a Basalt Spire from this board.
Yeah, one reason I think Tyrus trashed the Spigator is that Spigator opens up lines to pass advance because Spigator could trash the now res
Yes,
Winchester, fetching a Bast and giving you the extra collect needed. I
correct.
think the one
So
Bast
this
in
would
Archives, but it could always get one back.
correct. So that would necessitate popping the spin as well. But I think yeah, Minstrel of course is more than happy to make that play happen.
For getting the Nuka. Interestingly, Minstrel did install, and then just took a credit. I wonder what it says about the hands that they didn't go for a third install. Maybe their hands are just measures and extracts or something.
Yeah, so we do know of the existence of at least one measure response in HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we expect that there's no ice in HQ because it seems likely that we have tried to get that wage workers click value.
Mhm.
So there are some odds, right, that HQ just has a bunch of agendas in it, like maybe but then again, right, that we also see this uncontested spin doctor. So there is a line where minstrel, like if there were like if minstrel was flooded, let's say, right, we could have he could have used a slash ember to try and fast advance another Azif or perhaps a above the law to kill that Nuka, but we didn't do that, and I don't know what that says about the rest of the hand if it's not slash and burn and not other installables.
Installing a Chesra and running the mark in case that we find any trashables. Looks like Tyrus probably still digging for money, digging for some of their drip econ, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be. It seems like they've been in a bit of a hole trashing all these Segators and such.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that Tyrus, this is a much more aggressive variation of Sable than the ones that than the wreck Sable that we're used to, quote unquote wreck.
Mhm.
In terms of resources, we notable absence compared to other Sable lists are we don't see any open markets actually. So like
Oh wow.
most of the resources here are dedicated to either multi-access with the twinning and Eru, and a pretty Mary. That's a very good thing to point out.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, getting extra accesses off the arrow and the twinning. An interesting turn from Minsel was over-installing in server 11, so suggesting that was a 3-2 that was probably bait for the runner to get and turn on measured. And now we pivot to the 5-3 score that we really want.
Yeah, that is a fascinating over install. Like Minstrel, like just saying, like it's not worth for me to try and push this agenda out. It's not getting me closer to winning the game.
Yeah, these Scrog decks usually not thrilled about scoring their 3-2s early, especially if it takes from their Slash and Burn, because they want to save their Slash and Burns to fast advance those Assault Spires.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're checking archives. This is always still risky too, because Minstrel has the option to feed Tyrus the 2-pointer,
Yeah.
get him with bet 4, and then play double measured. It looks like we are popping the Spin Doctor.
Yeah. So we expect it to be the 2-pointer plus a base to be the shuffles, but no, looks like Mav is the.
We
Oh
are
no,
feeding it, yeah.
we're leaving as if okay. So yes, as you said, this plan is still on the table. Minstrel has the. Well, in theory, Minstrel has a triple measured option if we go like extract measured. 5 minutes remaining run. That is demonstrably false. I believe this is the finals and it's therefore untimed. Do not listen to the
Yeah.
tournament scheduler. It is lying to you.
A great feature, but I think it's carrying over from the last round, which are extremely fast.
It's Crow telling us to ignore that. Thank you, Crow, our head judge for today.
This is an interesting play. So now Tyrus's options are to get to 8 credits if they could credit gamble, which they have one of left in their deck. If they have Carpe, if they have really most of their run events could get them back into enough money. Their other option is to install a class act, which should keep them alive with 8 cards in hand this turn.
Yes.
Their third option is to win.
I mean, yeah, you could, there could just be a Basalt lying on top of R&D. If we
Which is
think
better,
Basalt is
so
in 11, then it's 1 in 27, 1 in 32 in HQ.
you could also consider running server 11 to force a res, maybe get them out of double measured range. Like a Bravado in server 11 would be great, but it looks like we're just gonna run the mark.
I was just doing it. This is clickless anyway, so there's no reason not to. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so now R&D's fresh, and we just need the 2-pointer. We're selling
Oh,
class act.
act. Okay.
So this keeps us safe to everything except for triple measured. Extract? Do we have
There's
triple
no
measured
way.
in hand?
There's no way. No way. You are not serious. You are not serious. This is is it triple? It's
triple measured.
It's extra triple. Goodness.
Wow. What a game. We all thought Tyrus was
played
safe
around
with the class
everything
act.
but that.
And there aren't even basalt counters to recur the measures. They were just naturally sitting
It's
in
just
hand.
hard triple measure. He just drew them. He just
And with the
drew
wage workers
them.
to get the extra click.
Yeah.
Super cool. 4 operation turn. Wow.
Incredible.
I wonder if Tyrus could have run back on R&D for a second card.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a real possibility, but I think it's like very valid to like give yourself the protection against a double measure, which I think is a realistic possibility at that stage. Of course, it's so hard to play around the triple, right?
Yeah, triple measure is just such a low odds draw, but yeah, as we're talking around chat, the thought classic would be enough. But that's the trickiness of running archives. You have 3 measures interested and thought that was the best shot to feed the last 2-pointer.
Yeah. And yeah.
Really powerful stuff. Well, congratulations to Minstrel for winning CBI.
Yeah, I mean, incredible run. I think ended undefeated in the cut. So congratulations for that.
Yeah, and super huge shout out to Tyrus fighting it up.
Yeah, it's got to be
the
close to
lower
5
finals.
a.m. I think it's 5 a.m. on the
Yeah.
dot, I think, in Europe right now. So
Wow. Yeah, these players playing late in the evening, but still playing incredibly well. Really interesting forks of scoring, damage, and it just came down to that third measured in hand.
Whew.
We might be joined by Minstrel for a quick interview.
Yeah,
So don't go anywhere, everybody.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna try and get that up in just a second. Congrats to both players. Amazing performance.
Incredible scenes.
Yeah, really well played by everyone. Great games, great deck lists coming out too. Still some innovation in the tail end of elevation meta.
Yeah, hopefully in
I think it's kind of
just a
ironic that
second.
we have. Oh, okay. I was just
But
gonna
yeah, no.
say that we
Go
had
ahead.
Avenger Alco games that scored, and the odd game ended in a kill, which is not necessarily what you'd expect.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll be joined by Minstrel in just a second for a little post game interview by the new Circuit Breaker. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Minstrel. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Um,
How are you
I,
feeling?
well, I couldn't find this channel for a second, so that should probably like describe how I'm feeling quite well. Happy.
Yeah, incredible performance today. I believe we went 5-0 the event undefeated, beating Tyrus twice in the same matchup, and then of course the few games before that. Can you talk a little bit about like your deck selection process for this event? What made you choose to play this variation of the Scrubs orb?
Mhm. So there's just really one change that I made, and was changing nano management into Mavirus and Hollowman and getting the slot by cutting Afshar, I think. And what I wanted is another Mavirus. I expected a lot more Virus, Hashika, Virus Low, Virus Seb to be present in the meta. And I haven't been feeling well playing Epiphany in the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to try something new. I have played Scrubs like first time maybe 2 weeks ago, and it clicked really well. I just didn't like see the nano version. I liked what Hollowman offered to the deck, and I think I used it entire 0 times today. So yeah, nano is still probably a better version. But I really liked having the second Mavirus. So maybe the version with the two Mavirus to Bastiroboga would be the one that I would go forward with.
And can I ask for your runner too? We didn't see very much Shaper, and we saw mostly Lack. So why did you choose to play Magdalene, which I may say has a special place in my heart? So I'm curious to what you have to say about Maggie.
So I've been tinkering with Magda for like a large part of the last year. I had a couple of deviations to different decks, but I really enjoy that ID. I really enjoy what it offers, and I have been playing that version that is based around propellers and spec works, giving you a lot of burst draw early in the game to try and effectively catch up with asset meta. Because I feel like Magda can slot a lot of tools fairly easily if you make specific compromises in the deck building. So the deck runs for asset tech pieces, and I was quite happy with that. I hoped that the way the deck is designed will have a fine RH matchup, and I just hope to not ever face Leo. It's slightly better than Hushuk versions, but like it's still not a very good. Like we're not happy to see it, and like a single elimination was like I'm very happy with that inclusion. It really doesn't matter when you draw it. If you draw it early in the game, it's like very, very strong. If you draw it later in the game, it usually still lets you install free things at a discount and just like push over whatever corp tempo is at a specific moment. Yeah.
So Elimination is a fun card, so I'm glad to hear that it popped off.
Well, I guess, again, congratulations on being the new Circuit Breaker, taking over the title from Kikai last year. So as we all know, Kikai's champion card is the alt art of Sudden Commandment, which was fairly key piece in his decks from the previous year, which I think notably was the EA Asmari Re-Education kill deck. The Southern Command was a very key piece in that cop deck. So, I mean, I guess my question to you is, do you have any idea of like what champ card you're thinking about right now, or is it something that's potentially related to your run here at this event, or a deck that maybe means a bit to you over the last year?
I think that if it was to be a single card in the game, I think it would always be Simulchip. I think it's my single favorite card in the game for like since I started playing, and that hasn't pretty much changed since I learned how to use it. And when the N6 change got introduced, it just became better. I feel like I have the most fun playing with that card. And if any specific card for this deck list or like what I've done in this tournament, I don't know, maybe Specwork, maybe Elimination, maybe Propeller. I talk a lot about Propeller being a not fair breaker, so there is a couple of cards I really enjoy in this deck, but that's also, I guess, the reason I play this deck. It just plays the cards I like to play with.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to whatever card you choose, and I'm happy that they're all Shaper cards. They're the most fun.
I am not biased at all towards one specific runner faction.
No, it's
Do
fine.
you have
It's
any
fine.
shout-outs?
You've won the tournament. You're allowed to be as biased as you want.
Yeah, it's clearly the best. You've proven it.
Yeah.
Do you have any shout-outs you want to make as we wrap up?
I would like to shout out my people I have tested with for the tournament and the people that cheered me on during the game. I had the Sumpornis and Gruntovny or Bullfinch talk a lot with me during the tournament, in spite of technically being competitors during the top 16. So that was like amazing, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, congratulations once again. I mean, it's
Congratulations.
probably getting on to like past 5 a.m. where you are, I believe. So, I mean, definitely sure you're like shot to hell after that run. Definitely get some well-earned rest.
Thank you, and I hope that you all had a lot of fun too.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Peace.
Well, thank you so much,
And that's
everyone,
about
for
it for us on
joining
the stream.
us. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us for the 2026 Circuit Breaker. That was a very fun tournament that ended quicker than I expected, and we all get to go enjoy our evenings now. Or days, depending on where you are.
That was a massive flurry of co-op wins at the end there, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like 6 in a row or something. That's crazy.
Really fast,
Yeah.
too. Well, thanks for joining. Do y'all want to sign off?
I've been Laura.
And I've been Jai, allegedly.
Or the reverse, depending on what's happened in the stream. We'll see you soon. Don't forget, Vantage Point coming out very soon. There's
So
been
hype.
some secret art for it in this stream you might have enjoyed. Be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you soon with more tournaments very soon. So long.
Peace.